Well, I'm going to do a video from start to finish. I just went outside and I took a little test shot of my creepy doll head. And I put my USB in, so now I have to detect it. If you notice over here on the left, that's my film actually, or my video actually being recorded. Okay, let's detect that. F disk -L, and that has to be run as root. And I want to find this that gives you a whole list of things. I want to try to find just the output that has a big G in it, a capital G, because I know that will list the gigabytes. And there I see it. Down at the very bottom, I see div. And see, this changes. This isn't always the same. And I have different USBs I use, and so I've got to search every time. So okay, we're gonna paste that there, and I'm gonna again I have to do it as root. Mount. I'm gonna mount that, but I'm gonna use an area on my computer to read it, and I'm gonna have it in the media in USB. I have mounted it. Now if I go to media USB CD /media /USB, I'm there. Okay, let me get up into the DCIM CD DCIM / I know I'm Fuji, so 104 FUJI. There I am, and there's my test video and a picture I took. Let's display the picture. SFC 4362 4361.jpg. Come on, you can do it. Oh my God, it's a giant picture. See if I can shrink it down where it can be viewed on here. Okay. I'll use that as my thumbnail. See? The creepy doll head. Now I'm going to convert this. No, I'm not going to convert it. One of the things, yeah, I'll go ahead and convert it now. I'll convert it. The reason I'm going to convert it, I want to turn it into a video. But I actually made this to begin with because I want to experiment with an AVI file. Okay, but to make a video, I want to convert it. Okay, so I go FFmpeg. My input, and I'm going to put my output as my home /jack /desktop /USB. Oh my God, I don't remember if that was capital or not. USB / dollhead .mp4. And there it's converting it. And I'll be back when I'm ready for the next phase here. Watching conversions can get pretty boring. Converted. So now let's take that JPEG and we'll put it up where we can work with it. We'll get out of this bottom directory here. There's a JPEG. Let's copy that, copy to the desktop. USB. To dollhead JPG. Now we'll go up to, where's my USB here? Where am I at? That's in my USB itself. There's my USB. Now we see the doll head and we see the doll head MP4. Let's separate them out into their own directory here. Create a folder. Video. Doll head video. And I'm going to copy all these because these will be used later. If you notice, I've converted them to different formats. I've got MP4, MKV, and TS. And we'll go through all these, and that'll be explained in another video, but I don't need them to actually make a video right now. Now let's take dollhead and turn that into a thumbnail. We'll open it with Gimp. Everything takes a second. I've got a size 1 computer and I'm giving it a size 10 jobs to do. Okay, let's put a title on this. Select them all and increase the size. Oh, I was wondering what's going on. How come I got to increase my size so much? Oh well. Okay. Let me get rid of this and resize my picture. Resize the image. If you see up here at the size, it's 4,288, and we don't even want to use that for our video. Scale image to 1280 by 720. All right, that's a little more reasonable to work with. Now we'll put some text on top of that. The creepy doll head. Video. I'll select them all. Control A selects everything. Increase the size on it. And let's move it where we want it to be at. Create a new layer. This layer right here is floating. It's not even really a layer. It's just text right now. It's a layer of text, but it can't be worked on. So here I create a blank layer, a transparent layer, slide it down under, and I can take my text and merge it down. I'm going to make 2 copies of this because I'm going to take the bottom one, select all the text at the bottom, put a blank layer on top, but I'm going to increase my selection by 1. Select, grow, I'll grow by a couple pixels. Now if I go up here and I paint them black, it'll make them stand out a little bit more. See, select none. And you see it's all got a black outline now. Now I can actually take this and make a copy of it, blur it, give it a Gaussian blur, and we'll make a fuzzy background of dark. If you notice, it's not real distinct. See if I can zoom in on this. It's a little bit of a dark edge to it. If I multiply that, you see the dark edge increase. And that lets it stand out against the background a little bit. And that's good enough for a thumbnail. Let's export it as video thumbnail. Creepy doll head. You want to use the name Creepy Doll Head because Creepy Doll Head is going to be the video. If you use a thumbnail that has something that is associated with your the posting you're going to make, it helps you with the SEO on your video. Creepy Doll Head. Creepy Doll Head dash video. Oh, there it is, exported. Slowly but surely it's exporting. Well, I keep forgetting I'm recording too, so my computer's choking on me. Okay. I'm going to end this video and we'll attach another in a minute. Well, here I created this fancy prompt to use in my YouTube videos and I forgot to use it. Okay, now we're going to take that JPEG and I changed it a little bit. I changed it and I changed the names. I changed it so it would be Creepy Doll Head broken into different words instead of just instead of doll head as one word. And again, I wanted the video name to match the JPEG name because that's exactly the same name I'm going to use as a title for my video. And all that helps a little bit with the SEO. I don't know if it does a dramatic thing, but I know it helps because I've had it proven to me. I put up a thumbnail and when I did a search, my thumbnail popped up, but not my video. Okay, so there's the video. So there's the thumbnail. Let's take that thumbnail and you go FFmpeg. We're going to loop that picture. And we're going to loop it for 5 seconds. Now if you don't do anything behind this, it'll loop that forever until you stop it. But if I put a limit on it by going -T 5, it will make a 5-second video of that intro. And it doesn't matter what the format is. I guess I shouldn't mix them up too much. I'll just change the name of the... I kind of like MK... I don't know why I like MKV, but I do. I'm going to make it into an MKV, that's it. It doesn't contain a string. That is because I didn't input it. input. There it goes. Now it's creating a video. It's a little 5-second video. It's real quick to do, and we should be able to FF play it. It's almost worth the wait, I think. It's a quick, come on. I'm trying to show all kind of different things in here that we're actually, let's see if I do a listing. Now I do, I don't know if I mentioned it, how could I say, I don't know if I mentioned, I don't know if you saw my video. When I list, a lot of times I'll go ls minus rant. The reason for the rant is a CC member, and rant, the R stands for reverse, A gives all the details, N gives a single column, and T lists by time. So it's actually listing by time in reverse. And if you see the very last thing I did here, the intro, that's the one that is on the very bottom. That's the one I know I just did. So I can do FF play, and we'll go intro, MKV, and all it would do is show that blank video. That's it. Now that's a video right now. It's a 5-second video that I could use in my intro when I bring it in. Now this video, this piece I use, if I want to fasten it to another existing video with sound, I have to add a dummy soundtrack. I don't have to, but I like to add that dummy soundtrack. That way I can use it anywhere I want and don't have to worry about trying to use the formats that will concat the two together. Hey, this is neat tool time. I've got to add a dummy soundtrack to that intro. The one is called Intro MKV. I need to add a dummy soundtrack. I don't have all this stuff at the tip of my fingers to be able to type in. But I do have a database I've used, and I've got a video about building databases, and I'll probably be doing more. I know I'll be doing more. I've got a database I call FFmpeg. Now to search that, I go DS, direct search, everything, in my database. Now what I want it to look for is dummy. It'll just look for dummy, because I think I have dummy audio in there. And there's the example right here. 54 is the entry in my database, and these are my keywords. No, I've got audio, filter, dummy, soundtrack, all these, and here it explains it. Here you can use this to create a dummy soundtrack, and here it is. That's the FFmpeg command to do that. So if I do here and do list, well, I don't have to list it now, I've got it above. I can just paste that right here. I'll put in intro. And the MKV, and outside it's intro with track. Intro dash with dummy soundtrack. MKV. The database is really a neat tool. If you can run this on your computer, it will save you loads and loads of looking up and trying to find references. I'll use it again here to show just a demo it. This is I'll use what you call in here DS means direct search. if I want to use something where I used, oh, let's see, a fade. Oh, I don't believe I don't have that one in there. Fade. There's an example where you use fade. A fade is an audio fade, and I just don't have that entered yet. But this actually will take one picture, another picture, and fade the two in together, where the one will kind of blend and come out and wind up with a video from it. This database is an extremely neat thing and something to consider. I'll link to the video on database. Well, we got our intro with a dummy soundtrack and the original video put together. Now it's time to put together the whole picture. Let's do a listing. See, this is going to be posted on internet, so I've got a how it was done directory, and that's where all the directions are going, text to be able to look at. Now we got to join them all together. I cheated on this video because I already have this script made. It's in a file called join, but I'm going to show you the tool again like I talked about. If I want to know how to do that, because that's how I did this. I went FFmpeg. Now this is really, I can't overemphasize what a useful thing this is to have, a database. You can put notes in it. You can put links in it. You can put any kind of text you want to in it. You can put any kind of snippets you want to in it. And to make it from FFmpeg into just a memory is very, very simple. Again, we'll have more videos about this, but watch how simple here. Okay, I wanted to search. I wanted to join videos. Search join. There's the join. There's an intro. You put your main video. There's your filter you need. Everything you need to do it. And I do one thing quite often is I use my intro videos at the same size. That way my script is very reusable. I don't have to introduce anything from my intro. Now to explain the script when you look at it. FFmpeg intro and then the main video, whatever video you want to feed into it. You know what we're going to do? We'll open up the join script because that's already all set and you can look it in. This is the usable script. It loads up my intro with the dummy sound in it. You have to have the dummy sound because you wind up with errors. It tries to load the sound and there's none there and you get errors out of it. So you want to put a dummy soundtrack on it. You load your second one, which is the creepy doll head. That's the main video. Now what you're doing here, right here, is you're loading the first video. You're going to use the whole video, which is 5 seconds long. So you start at 0, end in 5. And that's your first clip. Okay, that's your first clip. Then your second clip. You're going to start at 4. Now the reason for 4 is so that you can overlap it. You start at 4 and you can overlap it with the first. So there's your second clip. You start at 4 seconds. That gives you time to put your introduction in there. Now you trim your start. You trim that first video. That means you cut a piece out of it. The piece you cut out starts at 3 seconds and ends in 5 seconds. You cut a piece out of your main video. It starts at 0 seconds and ends in 4 seconds. You create a fade. You create a fade. This fade starts at 0, ends in 1. You create an out fade. It ends in 0. It starts at 0 and it's got a delay. We call it a delay. That's the amount of time that fade is actually going to take place. Now you have what you call a first in, first out. You're taking your fade in, which is up here, fade in. You're taking your fade in, first out, and you're calling what results in that and your fade in FIFO file. You're taking your fade out, first in, first out, and you're calling it your fade out FIFO file. Now you're taking the two files here, the fade in and fade out, fade in, fade out, or fade out, fade in. You're overlaying them into a crossfade. Now to understand this isn't duck soup, but I'll try to explain it. Suppose you have two images, or two images, and it starts with a black to transparent. Then you have another image that starts from transparent to black. And when you overlay them, one on top of the other, you'll see that you fade from black to white. Because you have the transparent, the part you made transparent will fade into the other. And you wind up with a fade coming out of it. So you're saying, I'm going to take my first fade, lay it on top of the second fade, and together I'll get a crossfade. So then you take your first clip, which is actually your intro, take your first clip and crossfade it, which is the part that does the overlapping piece, the piece that makes the fading. And then your second clip, and you join them together. So this crossfade is actually like a clip, like a video. It's a video clip in memory. So you're taking the first clip, you put the crossfade, and the second clip. And now you see why the second clip, when I loaded it at 4 seconds. So there was space to put the crossfade in there. And the first clip was the length of everything. Now you've got this that says, okay, now you've got A1 audio and A2. That means there's audio in here and audio in here. Audio in intro with in your intro, and in your main video you have audio. It says crossfade that audio, and then you map everything. Once you're all set up, then you tell it to map it. Map your output, which is right here. Map your output and map your audio. And you map your input, you map your output, map your audio. We'll run it for 47-second long video, and we'll create the creepy doll head post. This I'll explain more and more as it goes along. It's very difficult to understand to start with, but we'll do a couple real simple things like joining MP3s. We can join one MP3 and fade it into another. FFmpeg does not work only with video. It works with audio, like MP3s, and it even works with images, where you can take one image and fade it into another. It's all in later videos. And I think this just about concludes what we're going to do here. We'll save this and exit it. And at this point, you have a if you make that into a file, you have to, of course, make your file executable. So you change the mode into +X, JOIN. Then you can execute it with the /JOIN. And that will start making a video right there.